Altcoin season might be just starting, but this time it's different. Something is shifting, and if you've been around long enough, you can feel it. Altcoins, they're bubbling. Ethereum just broke out of a coma. XRP is suddenly mooning on ETF rumors. And look at those trend levels. They're spiking in ways that we haven't seen since last November, back when the market was gearing up for a full-blown alt season. But here's the twist. This time, it's not just price action or hype. It's policy, it's legislation, it is the system turning toward crypto. And that changes everything. Welcome back to another episode of JRNY TV. My name's Nick, and this is where we break down the biggest moves in crypto and digital finance. No fluff, no filters. Today's episode is packed. We've got the US government making an unexpected but massive push toward crypto adoption. Ethereum is waking up from its slumber. XRP is riding high on legal optimism. And meme coins like Bonk and PUMP, yeah, they're doing what meme coins always do, flying when you least expect it. In the next section, we're diving headfirst into what might be the most important development in US crypto policy ever. 3 bills just passed, and it's not a drill. Be sure to stay locked in for more. The US government just went all in on crypto. Seriously. All right, let's not sugarcoat this. This week, it may go down as the moment crypto in the US became inevitable. While the market was watching price charts, Trump and Congress were busy flipping the entire regulatory narrative. In one clean sweep, they passed 3 monster bills: the Clarity for Digital Tokens Act, the Anti-CBDC Act, and the one and only Genius Act. This wasn't a symbolic gesture. This was Washington pulling the emergency brake on anti-crypto policies and then slamming the gas on blockchain innovation. The Clarity Act gives crypto projects a very clear legal path moving forward. No more SEC gotchas every time that someone tries to launch a new token. It defines what's a security, what's not, and how to comply. That's game-changing. The Anti-CBDC Act, that one is a major win for privacy advocates. It blocks the creation of a surveillance-style digital dollar. So no, Uncle Sam won't be tracking your every transaction through a central bank coin. And then there's the Genius Act, which has already been signed into law by President Trump later this week, a bold initiative aimed at refueling blockchain entrepreneurship right here in the US, instead of watching talent flee to other countries. Think about what this really means. For the very first time, America isn't just tolerating crypto, it is officially backing it. And when the world's biggest economy does that, markets, they move. Innovation explodes, institutional money gets brave, and the rest of the world takes notice. Crypto adoption in the United States just leveled up, and it's going to send shockwaves through the global market. Ethereum just woke up, and it's not playing around. After what felt like months of sideways sleepwalking, Ethereum just lit a fire. In the past 7 days alone, Ethereum has pumped over 20%, breaking through $3,600 and reclaiming levels that we have not seen in months. And this isn't some low volume fake out. This is real. We're talking about open interest surging to an all-time high of $46 billion. Spot Ethereum ETF inflows crossing 2 billion since July 4th, and trading volume spiking across the board. Institutions are back in, and it's clear that they're not here to just nibble. They are making the moves. It's no coincidence that this rally kicked off right after the US passed 3 of the most bullish crypto bills that we have ever seen. Regulatory clarity is like rocket fuel, and Ethereum is soaking it all up. Treasury firms are scooping up hundreds of thousands of ETH, and derivatives markets are heating up fast. Ethereum is starting to move like it's got something to prove, and the charts are showing real strength, not just hype. This kind of move, it does not happen in isolation. It happens when fundamentals, policy, and momentum all line up. And that's exactly where we are right now. If Ethereum continues at this pace, we are not just looking at a short-term rally. We could in fact be witnessing the beginning of its next major leg up. XRP is ripping on ETF hype and legal clarity. XRP is also back in that spotlight, and this time, it's not just about the courtrooms and speculation. The token surged over 21% this week alone, smashing through the resistance levels as rumors swirl about the SEC finally backing off and a potential XRP spot ETF getting the green light. That kind of combination is the exact type of fuel that XRP needs to go vertical. Traders are not just buying the news, they're front-running a narrative that could turn this into one of the biggest altcoin stories of the year. And the markets are showing real signs of conviction. Polymarket odds for an XRP ETF approval by the end of 2025 just spiked to 88%. And big wallets, they are stacking. The number of addresses holding over 1 million XRP is up around 10% since June, and daily active users have jumped from 210,000 to 250,000 in just a few weeks. That is not noise, everyone. That is capital and community waking up at the exact same time. Plus, with the new pro-crypto legislation now in place, XRP's long battle for legitimacy is finally tipping in its favor. If the SEC drops the case and the ETF gets approved, this asset moves from high risk to high leverage exposure for institutions, basically overnight. And when that door opens, do expect volume to explode. That XRP army, they have been waiting a long time for this moment. Now, it feels like everything is finally lining up, and the market is responding exactly how they would expect. The charts are screaming, altcoin season is starting. Look, we've seen this before. Volumes picking up, dominance charts are shifting, and across the board, altcoins are starting to flash the same signals that we saw back in November, right before the last mini alt season ripped through the market. Social chatter is heating up. Google trends for best altcoins to buy are climbing again, and liquidity is very clearly rotating out of majors and into mid-cap and low caps. It's not just hopium anymore. There's real momentum forming here. The key metric, altcoin social trend level strength, is breaking out. Analysts are tracking a surge in retail participation, especially on-chain. Wallet activity is rising, search traffic is spiking, and sentiment indicators are flipping from cautious to greedy. So, it's a lot like last cycle, when things looked quiet until they weren't. And now, with the US legislation giving markets a very clean regulatory runway, get ready for some planes, because this breakout is coming with a tailwind that we haven't seen in years. ETH and XRP have already kicked it off, but now smaller caps are starting to move. Solana projects, base ecosystem tokens, and even names like ADA and Litecoin are seeing price bumps and volume jumps. It's classic rotation. Smart money gets in early, and retail follows once it's obvious. If you've been waiting for a clear sign of life from the altcoin market, this is it. Wake up. Alt season might not be fully here just yet, but all the early signals, they are already screaming. Bonk holds the line, but Pump is dumping hard. Meme coin season is in full swing, but it's a tale of two stories right now. Bonk is standing its ground, while Pump is taking a dive. Let's talk Bonk first. Over the past week, it's climbed roughly 42%, bouncing from about $1.8 billion in market cap to the $3.1 billion level. That's a serious move for a Solana meme coin. Volume is still massive, over $10 billion traded in the last 7 days alone. And in the last 24 hours, it is holding strong, near recent highs. That's resilience. Bonk's market cap is hovering around the $2.7 billion range, and momentum players are sticking around, likely betting on it fueling the next meme wave. Now compare that to Pump, the Solana-based ICO that made waves by raising $500 million in 12 minutes. And guess what? It's already dropped about 40% from its peak and continues to bleed thanks to massive pre-sale offloads and a loss in holder confidence. Around 60% of wallets have dumped or moved tokens to exchanges. Its price now is unfortunately trading below ICO levels and with no formal listing on Gate.io+. Whales, they're also pulling the ripcord. It's textbook dump behavior. So what does this tell us? Bonk's got community, momentum, and solid volume behind it. It's weathering the storm and holding up. Pump was pure hype, and as hype often does, it crashed just as fast. In meme coin land, that's par for the course. But these hops, dumps, and hold patterns, they're signals. Liquidity is flowing. Speculation is alive. And when Bonk stays strong while Pump peters out, that is a hint that retail and degen traders are getting choosy. The institutional altcoin era is just taking off. So here we go. The crypto narrative is shifting in real time. First, the US government passed not one, not two, but 3 massive pro-crypto bills, giving the space a legit runway to grow. Then Ethereum woke up, ripping over 20% this week alone on real volume and ETF-fueled momentum. XRP followed suit, leaning on legal clarity and ETF hopes to break out. Altcoin charts are flashing the same pattern as last November. Big rotation, real demand, and growing market optimism. And don't forget about the meme coins. Bonk's holding strong while Pump imploded, reminding us that hype can roll in, but only real community sticks around. Here's the bottom line. Institutions aren't just watching anymore. They're stepping in. Regulatory clarity, ETF channels, and on-chain signals all align to create the perfect storm. This could be the beginning of a new era in crypto investing, where altcoins take center stage, funded by capital that's just waking up to the opportunity. So what's your big move? Are you loading up now before the bigger wave hits, or waiting on the sidelines? Either way, stay sharp, keep asking questions, stay informed, and always stay in the loop here on JRNY TV. Because if this is the dawn of institutional altcoin domination, it's going to be one hell of a ride. As always, thanks for watching. We will catch you in the next one.